We are just a couple of months away from the launch of Brighter Shores, but as of right now, we know very little about this upcoming MMO. Aside from the fact that it is going to be a point-and-click faction-based combat MMO with professions that are similar to the skills inside of RuneScape, and the mapping is going to be room-based. The easiest way for me to explain the room-based map is that it is a dungeoneering-esque style of unlocking the map. And don't get me wrong, this is not a terrible amount of information to know, but when it comes to the minute details like how does healing work inside of combat? Is it going to be spell style healing or inventory style healing, more similar to how you eat food to heal inside of RuneScape? Speaking of inventory, this is exactly what I wanted to dive into for this video, because if we take a look at this picture here, which shows us the most inventory information we've gotten yet, I mean, just look at this thing. It is a mess. At first glance, it is hard to distinguish exactly what is going on inside of this inventory. There are two pieces of the same armor type being equipped, potions of various kinds, each with this anchor symbol, as well as numbers in each of these inventory items that don't immediately make sense. For example, how many logs am I even carrying here? Is it 48 logs, or is it just one log, or is it an entire stack of logs? I just don't know. But today I'm going to do my best to dive into this piece by piece to see if we can get a better grasp of what all of this means. If this video helps you out at all, then help me out by hitting that like button. But let's go ahead, cut this plug, and get right into it. Unfortunately, each item and the numbers and symbols inside of that item have their own separate context that is needed to explain what the numbers and symbols even mean. For example, if we look at the logs in the inventory, they have a tree next to them, which on the surface makes sense, but then in the inventory there are two pieces of chest gear, one of which has a mining or blacksmithing symbol and the other has a question mark, which makes a whole lot less sense. But if we take a step back and look at the bigger picture here, we can see that the person with this inventory is currently pruning a tree. If we jump over to a clip in the gameplay trailer, we can see that players are both cutting down trees and pruning them, so I'm assuming that with the woodcutting skill you will be able to gather items with at least these two activities. Getting back into the inventory though, there are three items inside of it with a tree symbol, the two logs, and this branch sap thing. I'm assuming that the symbol of the branch and sap is what is currently being collected in this picture, mainly because it is the only item inside of the inventory that has a green progress bar inside of it. In the bottom right hand corner of this sap symbol, we see an axe and a number. The axe symbolizes that this is acquired using the lumberjack skill, and the level required to gather that resource is the number next to the axe, in this case being level 22. If we look at the logs, they require level 48 woodcutting to gather, so if these were both gathered from the same type of tree, this means that you could still gather something from late game trees even without having the highest level in woodcutting. Picture, for example, harvesting a yew sap from a yew tree in RuneScape at level 45 woodcutting rather than the level 60 woodcutting needed to actually cut the log. The tree symbol in the bottom left hand corner of this inventory sap, I can only assume is noting which resource type it is. The one thing I do not have an answer for here is how many logs do we actually have? Is it just 2 logs? 2 stacks of 50 logs? I don't know, but I do think we get an answer from a more recent video posted on X by Andrew where he demonstrates some blast mining. When he gathers this coarse death stone, you will see all of the same symbols as the previous picture. Bottom left is saying that this is a mining resource. To the right of that is a pickaxe and a level showing that you need level 32 mining in order to gather this item, which matches up with him hovering over the rock itself, showing that you need 32 mining as well. But but you do get to see one extra symbol here when he actually picks up the item, and it is this item symbol with a 1 next to it. When we look inside of the inventory, we see the same death stone, but without that item symbol, so I am guessing that it is 1 item per 1 inventory slot, but it is still unknown what, if any, items are stackable inside of Brighter Shores. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, but let's go ahead and move on, because surprisingly, these are the easiest pieces of the inventory to explain. The armor gets a whole lot more confusing, but I think I have a fairly good guess here. You can see that we have a sword, a chest plate, another chest plate, plate legs, a second set of plate legs, even more plate legs, as well as a helmet and shield. The only thing I can say for certain is that the sword symbol has to be signifying that the item is combat related. When it comes to the number next to that though, I don't think that it is following the same rules as resources. If it were, that would mean we are wearing a level 0 helmet alongside level 200 plate legs, which just does not make sense. Instead, what I think we are looking at is the numbers are telling us how much armor the item provides. As to why there are 3 different plate legs and 2 different chest plates, I have no clue. My original guess was that maybe there was an under chest and an over chest that you could equip, but that gets thrown out of the window with 3 plate legs, unless there is an under leg you could wear. I also haven't touched on the fact that the numbers on the mining armor pieces is blue, and on the shield the number is yellow, and I haven't got the faintest idea as to why that is. My original assumption was that the blue numbers signified that it acts as a shield to your health pool rather than an addition to your health pool, but that kind of gets tossed out with the yellow numbers on the shield. When it comes to the symbols inside of the equipment items in the inventory though, I'm assuming the mining symbol means that those pieces of armor had to be smith. This makes sense for everything except for the armor with the anchor symbol. If I had to throw out a guess, it would be that armor with the white numbers adds to your health pool, blue numbers adds to your shield pool, and then the golden numbers add to your mana pool. You could maybe flip blue and gold here, but as to why there are 3 plate legs, I haven't even got a guess. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think is going on here. But let's go ahead and move on to the potions. The blue potions have mining symbols on them. The white ones have a merchant symbol, and the yellow one has the hammer mage faction symbol. The green potion icon in the bottom right hand of each potion in the inventory signifies that it is a part of or came from the alchemy skill. The numbers I can only assume is the amount of levels that would be boosted. So 16 mining levels, 18 merchant levels, and 330 hammer mage power. I would not guess that this means a plus 330 to the level of hammer mage. Regardless though, the most confusing bit to all of this inventory to me is this anchor symbol. My only guess is that maybe these were purchased or crafted inside of Hopeport, and maybe the shield comes from a quest line inside of Hopeport. But honestly, I'm not sure about any of this. It really just is some speculation based on this image and what we have seen from the game so far. So be sure to let me know down in the comments what you think I got wrong and what you think it actually means. Also, if you made it this far into the video, comment "made it" down below so I can give you an extra shout out. But that is all the information that I wanted to break down in this video. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'm out.